The second part of my tutorial on UI with modular gaming. So last time I talked about reading the keyboard and basically displaying whatever key was pressed here, which was just one of the parts. But I was considering another scenario where, let's say you're making a game, but you want it to be on multiple languages, which means you'd possibly need to try it with more than one keyboard. But more than likely, you don't have a keyboard with multiple languages, so that can cause a bit of a problem with testing it. And as well, for virtual keyboards, you can actually take advantage in creating custom keys. So to cover that, I'm basically creating a virtual keyboard in this UI to test out some of the functions. So it basically, if I click that button, I want it to do exactly the same as what any key pressing now does here. Obviously, I haven't set this up to work yet because I'm still planning it out. But each of these keys is going to be basically exactly like this. So I'm going to have buttons for each key on a keyboard, and whenever you click them with your mouse, it should hopefully show the responding key and an action. So to build this keyboard, basically going to be using a table, and inside each table item, like inside TD, which is table data, basically each bit of information, we're going to have a button which does exactly the same as what pressing a keyboard does now and executing that action, and obviously showing what key it is. So for example, as you can see at the minute, I've got 4 keys on this virtual keyboard. There's only one button because the rest are, if you try clicking them, they won't do anything at all. This only does the animation because it actually is a button, as you can see with the button tag there. And each of them have a key written, since I haven't assigned a key to any of them yet. So if I try this, oops, if I click refresh, you can see that button's turned into an A now. So basically we're going to build a basic keyboard, just a normal English one first, so it's easy to explain. Exactly like this, maybe slightly different layout. And we're going to make it call this function to return what key was pressed and what action is associated with that key. So obviously it's laid out as a table, as you can see from all this part is the table with table tags. Then you've got your table rows, so 2 of them at a minute, and then your table data. You can see we've got 2 in there as well. And then in each table data, a button, and in between the button tags, we're going to have the actual button. So you can see that adds up to 4 now at a minute. 4 key spaces, not actual 4 keys yet. So I'm going to add a function here. This is just going to be a JavaScript event. So since we want this to do it exactly the same as this, what it currently does, all we need to do is just strip out the action since when you click the button it'll be simulating clicking a key anyway, you only have to extract out the action for the on-click event and nothing else. So just change these to different speech marks to avoid errors, and then change that to an A, and let's just say this button does walking. So I'll save that, and then hopefully when I click it now, as you can see, it does exactly the same as pressing any key on keyboard that I did from the previous tutorial. So that's quite easy. Just go back to code. So we're basically going to do it for all the possible keys on the keyboard for a normal English keyboard, and then we're going to cover most of the international keyboards and basically like their equivalents of each button. So we need to make sure it all fits in the space. I've already done the CSS so that it won't jump out, it'll all stay in that same spot. It's just a matter of writing, basically copy and pasting, and then replacing each key with its own information. So if I want to use a B button, actually, yeah, B button, all I have to do is copy and paste that, and then just replace these two parts. The part where it's asking for an inner HTML value, and the bit of text in between the two button tags. So put B as running. You can see it works. So just to speed this up, we'll just estimate how many keys we need. So there's 5 rows of keys. It looks like possibly 19 columns of keys as well. But obviously some, like the spacebar, that stretches over like a load of columns. So we're going to have to compensate specifically for that. But I'll basically do that in the next bit. I'll do that not in tutorial because it's going to be boring and not going to really learn anything. So next tutorial I'll explain basically making some keys bigger than others and making some keys take up more than one space. So I'll just stop it there and just check out the next one.